From the city of Oakland, California, Maria Bick talks to documentary filmmaker Kevin Peña about his film Occupy Oakland that deals with racism and police brutality in that troubled city. Filmmaker Kevin Peña was born and raised in Oakland, California. He is now making a documentary film about the Occupy movement in Oakland.
The way to really explain Oakland and why Oakland was special was to put the Occupy movement in the context of the history of Oakland, which I think was more natural to the story. And once I did that, it basically has begun telling itself. I think probably one of the central issues has to be police brutality against the community, the black community in particular, and how there's been consistent racism and how we've had a police department that's been out of control in Oakland for decades for black communities and black families that are trying to live there. Crime, violence, poverty, and drugs. Gang violence was up, not so much as a result of the gangs themselves, as much as it was this policy, again, of the police and the way that they were policing communities. And Oakland's been on the verge of of social unrest for the last decade at least, in a way that it had, not since the 60s and since the Black Panthers. So Occupy Oakland really exposed the role of the police in the community to a level and an extent publicly that people across the country never understood. But I think once you saw the flashbang grenades, all the tear gas, this brought the brutality of the Oakland Police Department to the forefront. There's been this history, and especially with it resonating from the time of the Black Panthers, of communities taking responsibility for taking care of their own, particularly when it comes to social services and in the black community. The Black Panther Party had started some of the first breakfast programs in the country, and that was in Oakland. The Black Panthers began some of the self-education of black youth. I think that a lot of that same spirit, the sense of doing for yourself and being self-sufficient and not counting on the government to do it for you, was seen in the encampments in Occupy Oakland. To what they believed they were building in those camps, which was very much an alternative to, let's face it, life in the United States today can be very isolating. There's not a great sense of community, and when an event happens that people are able to capture and get that sense of community back, it's a very special moment for them. The Occupy movement, not just in Oakland, but internationally and in the United States, is part of our legacy. It's part of our collective history. And the only way that future generations are going to see it through the eyes of those who participate in it is if we have documents like this that show them. And so that's really what the intention is of this film.
This is Maria Juliana Bick in Oakland, California for Telesur.